So, how does China stack up against other countries when it comes to the female labour market? Well, in China, women have an employment rate of 60.5%, putting it slightly ahead of developed countries like the UK, where female employment is around 58%, and the United States, where it's 56.5%. Chinese women have been particularly successful in the IT sector. 41% of Chinese tech companies have female founders. That's 13 percentage points higher than their UK peers and 14 percentage points above the US. The number of female board directors in these Chinese companies is also significantly higher than in other industries. Xiaolin Chen is the head of international at KraneShares. Great to see you on the programme again. Now, isn't there a saying in China that women hold up half the sky? Are we seeing that reflected in the workplace?
Absolutely. It's exactly the saying that women can hold up half the sky. This phrase is very deeply rooted, actually, in the Chinese society, and continue to, inspire progress for women in the workforce. And today, women comprise, I think you mentioned this, for over 40% of China's workforce are women. More than half of them, obviously, are, or more than half of all the internet startup founders are women. So very inspiring. Obviously, women is participations in essentially pronounced in sectors such as entrepreneurships, science, digital innovations, all these sectors, they are strong candidates. And this is obviously will eventually help with the challenges of we have not as much as the senior, very high level of the leadership levels just yet. But this is definitely provided very strong foundations for further advancement.
You mentioned tech, you mentioned entrepreneurship. It is interesting that there seems to be more gender balance in some sectors than in others. I'm thinking about that 41% of Chinese tech companies with female founders, the co-founder of Alibaba, the president of Didi Xujing. Why are emerging industries that much more progressive?
These are more of a newer sectors, newer industries, and more of a free of, you may say, entrenched traditions. And then they prioritize fresh ideas. So these industries tend to have more of a flexible work model. So they can, with that in mind, it actually lowered the barriers for women to start a new business. And this is why these industries attract a lot of women entrepreneurs into these to enter these like tech, digital, renewable energy, all these good new and emerging industries in China. And I was fascinated, just a few weeks ago, I was invited to speak at a financial investment forum. And then all my panelists are women. These are, by the way, in China. And then you would know what I meant. I live in London, and for the forums I go, I will be the minority, okay? I'll be the only woman presenting, so on and so forth. But in China, it's totally coming up with a very trends of women are very, now in the very powerful, very senior roles, and even more.
Xiaolin, what actions, what initiatives to promote working women are really making a difference?
Today's announcement is helpful with a very strong institutional support, like the China putting this as a national policy. Now they're committing investments, obviously converting policies, which I think they will continue to do, which they have been doing for decades now. Convert that policy, become a daily actions to see a real results. I'm very hopeful for this, to continue to be the case. Obviously, provide trainings needed be, and also helping, all the local governments to have with local incentives for more entrepreneurships to come. Maybe international collaborations on women's rights, so on and so forth. All these developments continue to help to support these trends.
Xiaolin Chen at KraneShares, thank you so much.
Pleasure.